All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Wednesday morning. May the Lord bless you all in the name of Jesus, Yeshua, the Messiah. I pray everybody watching and listening is super blessed as Bitcoin right now, guys, has gotten a bit of a bounce, holding the line from yesterday. Now, guys, if you were watching the show yesterday, we were talking about holding the line. In fact, let's go to Jason Casper's YouTube channel right now just to take a look at the thumbnail from yesterday. Because yesterday's thumbnail, I don't know, I thought it was pretty good, right? It says, hold the line, baby. Hold the line. All right, when you zoom in on the moving pictures, you can tell things were serious yesterday. Oh my God. And today, this will make history. Major bull Bitcoin and crypto signal printing right now. Yes. Yes. It's true, baby. But we're coming to our first zone of resistance. Let's just break it down real quick before we get into the actual meat and potatoes of this. But look at this, guys, okay? We are coming to the support resistance flip. This is make it or break it. We flip this zone right here into support and we make a new high. This is our box of caution. Our box of caution. We got to be real cautious here. All right, we got to be super dang cautious here. Let's close out some of this stuff. Hang on a second here. I gotta close some tabs. I got so many dang tabs open. You guys know what it's like. You guys know what it's like to have so many dang tabs open, right? All right, there we go. This purple box right here, the purple box of mystery and wonder, because if we do come up through the box, in my opinion, we come into the box, hold, bull flag the box, bam! All right, we're going to be talking about some of the bullish signals that are printed. We got to give a major shout out to the Casper Crew VIP Discord. The long trade you see right here was a setup that was given in advance in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. All right, let's take a look over here. Make sure to follow me on X, guys. All right, if you want a whole bunch of cool stuff. But we gave the setup yesterday in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. I was looking for different long trades. Now, this is so key, guys. Remember, it's not a signals group. I'm saying these are the trades I'm potentially looking for, and we have to be reactionary. Based on what we see on the charts at the moment determines whether or not we take the trade, okay? It's not a signals group, but at the same time, when we came down to that first level, I let everybody know I decided to take a long trade. It's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but, you know, I see some bullish things at a bullish level, right? And of course, look at that entry, guys. Look at that entry. We do not disappoint in the Casper Crew, myself and the other instructors. All right. Now, I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I consider myself the least of all traders. But the other instructors are amazing. But this kind of stuff we do in the Casper Crew, check it out. Setup given from $100,000. Trade taken. Profits locked, baby. Check it out. Setup given from $105,000. Trade taken, profits locked. In fact, we're still long from $105,000. Up right now, almost 25,000 United States dollars. Donald Trump backed orange backs in profits. All right. We also did take the long trade from $85,000 up another 10K, baby. Man, talk about the pumping of the Bitcoin. Making tens of thousands of dollars in the Casper Crew at jasoncaspertrading.com. Man, what a plug. What a shill. All right. For my own group. Because, Jason, if you're such a good trader, why do you need to sell your group? It's a good question. You got me there. But look, guys, if you want to learn how to trade, all right, make sure to check out the free trading course on my YouTube channel. All right? Check out the free course on my YouTube channel. It's totally free, 100% free. And this will walk you through everything that you need to know on how to trade. All right? Totally free. Check it out, all right? We'll give you the juice. I'll teach you yourself how to do what I do in the Casper Crew, where we're looking for the setups and when to pull the dang trigger, all right? Now, Bitcoin is coming to a very, very key zone here. We're going to be talking about it, all right? Shout out to we got to shout out the chat. Shout out to Guy Incognito Able. Whatever he took, I want some of it. I'll tell you what I took. All right, I took a big dose of gratitude and thankfulness to the Lord for all his blessing and his goodness and his mercy that he showered upon me on this beautiful Wednesday morning. All right, mix that with a little bit of coffee, a little bit of prayer, and a little bit of hill sprints out in the yard, and you got what I'm taking, all right? Shout out to Yowzer Dankosaurus. He says your logo needs to be a plunger, for sure. Shout out to Richman, 500x long in that beat. Let's go. Shout out to Mindful Moments. Let's dump hard, no need to pump. Well, we are at resistance. Okay, but I'm feeling bullish. I'll be honest, and if I'm wrong, I'll take it. But I do feel bullish here. Caffeine kicking in. I haven't had the it's been a while on the caffeine, all right? But I'm feeling good today, man. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good today. I got the energy today. I've been taking it easier in the gym. I was pushing it a little hard, trying to do that Mike Mentzer style stuff, you know what I'm saying? But now I've been taking it easy, you know? Shout out to Aziz Ula, who says, why alts not even moving? Low cap alts. Look, Bitcoin's still having her heyday. Shout out to Long Throat. Shout out to me in Jason's voice. Shout out to Long Throat. Shout out to I Show You. I took 350 milligrams of caffeine. It's terrific. I don't know how much I took. I took about 10 ounces of black, organic, mold-free, low-acid coffee that my wife buys for me because she says it's better than the other. And she's probably right. Shout out to Keith M. Jeffs. Wait for the legislation and Tether Fund. Meanwhile, lower your position sizes on centrals. I don't know what a central is, but cool, man. Shout out to Felipe. Algo wants to pump 50 cents. Major shout out to K Diggity, and Boy Tides. Good morning, my man. Shout out to Dave Flowers. I only hold some Sol and Sui and barely in profit RN. Been holding a long time. Should I get out? No, man. Look, I'm holding altcoins as well. And I'm not getting out. I'm waiting for the pump. All right? I'm waiting for the pump. All right? Look, the way I look at this, all right? The way I look at this, guys, and I'm gonna just give it to you straight. I never give it to you gay on the Jason Casper. I'm gonna give it to you straight. Look. The way I look at it is this. These altcoins, Solana especially, Sui, I don't know, but Solana especially, Dave Flowers, this asset has a big potential to pump in general, in the future. I don't think you should sell. If you're at a break even, bro, just hodl it out a little bit. I think we have altcoin pumps coming. All right? And look, if you got a worst case scenario, and the bull market's over right now, and 123,000 was the high, right? And we enter into a bear market, all right? I am a firm believer that we're going to see Solana eventually at a new all-time high. I would just leave that thing alone, bro. That's just my own personal strategy, but I'm not a financial advisor. All right? Shout out to Jay Violet with the hand purple blue piece, hand purple blue piece, hand purple blue piece, which the emojis don't show up on my streaming app. Shout out to Michael Saylor. He's been bearish. Guys, Michael Saylor bearish, making me feel bullish, honestly. We got to give a major shout out to our super chat in the house. Our super chat, AVAX. Yeah, we'll take a look at AVAX for sure, Tyler Lambris. Tyler Rambaris. I look tired? Bro, I'm the opposite of tired right now. I don't know. I'm probably just sweaty, okay? Look, I'm sweaty. I've been up since 5 in the morning doing stuff. Like, I've been working hard, man. We work hard. I work hard. All right? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Shout out to Dread Mining. August almost always provides a dump. That's true. But this is a little bit different of a summer than last time. All right? Elliott Wave say we making a head and shoulder at 126. All right, here's the deal, guys. As we just say before, this box, which is that area, yeah. Like, this is the place where it's the make it or break it zone. So our good friend in the chat who talk about the head and shoulders coming in right here, right? Doop, 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 doop. Whatever, Elliott Wave, I don't know. I ain't no Elliott Waver, to be honest, but I don't hate it, right? I don't trade it. I don't hate it, but I don't trade it. This box is the make it or break it zone. If we reject from here, we are going down. We are going down. But for right now, I want to talk about some bullish signs that we see on the chart. All right. Now, first of all, I think what the overall context here on the Bitcoin is what's most important. Did we just confirm a red dot on the chart? So, okay, so here's the deal. Right now, I consider a battle between, here we go. Are we on the chart here? I consider a battle going on right now because we have a bearish signal on the daily, which historically means the rest of the week is going to be sideways and down. Okay? But we have bullish signals on lower time frames. So on the daily time frame, we have a market cipher B red dot. All right? The red dot. El punto rojo. The Mexican gangster with red skin. El punto rojo. The red dot. Bearish. Always trying to smuggle those purple candles across the borders of support and resistance. Alright, yesterday we confirmed El punto rojo right here. This is my Spanish accent, yeah. My Mexican accent right here. El punto rojo. Hola, mi amigo. ¿Cómo estás? Sounds very español-y, doesn't it? But as we come to the lower time frames, what do we see on the 6 hour? We see a green dot printing with money flow getting thicker. That's right. The arch nemesis of El punto rojo es, sí, señor, El punto verde. The other Mexican gangster arch nemesis of El punto rojo, sí, señor! This guy's trying to smuggle those bullish candles across the borders of Canada and the United States, which are soon to be one country. Canada being the 51st state, along with China being the 52nd. Now look, why do I say that this 6 hour is so bullish? Why do I say that this 4 hour is so bullish? When we have El punto rojo on the daily. ¿Qué día es hoy? What day is today? Today is El punto rojo has confirmed. But look at this, guys. I just want to point something out. We have continuation signals here. As the price is making a higher low, the momentum waves are making a lower low, and the money flow is getting thicker. This is known as a hidden bullish divergence. When you have a skinny right and left butt cheek and a fat right cheek, you stretch them on the charts. All right, we got to stretch this one out because we do have many hours of butt crack in between the two cheeks here. In fact, let's take our measurement tool. How many hours of butt crack? Wow, 7 days of butt crack. A whole week of crack, baby. We got a week of crack on the chart. As the price is making a higher low, momentum wave is making a lower low. That's called a hidden bullish divergence. And when we zoom into the lower time frames, like the 24-minute, all right, look at this. Look at this. As the price was making lower lows, and we saw the continuation pattern on the high time frame, the 4 hour, the 6 hour, the low time frames are giving us the good old-fashioned Sam Bankman-Fried bullish man boob pattern. All right, the man boob's getting higher, the money flow, the momentum wave's getting higher over time. All right, that's called a bullish divergence. And look, all right, the bullish divergence is the reason why. All right, I took that trade in the Casper Crew VIP Discord yesterday. All right, we were looking at these potential levels, saying we have like 116, 300. Look for a swing failure pattern, a chicken drinking water pattern. We'll take along. If we see a 12-minute bull div, 6-minute bull div, I'll let you know if I take it. Right? We came down to this first level of support here. All right, yesterday, and as we came down, what did we see on the chart? We saw those bullish divergences. Which is why I told the community I'm taking along here. We didn't reclaim the level. I took it before we saw the chicken drinking water pattern. But I just felt it in my bones, baby. And of course, we have hit that final TP. We're coming back up to around $119,000 where, you know, and this is some exclusive Jason Casper content, but obviously I was looking for those longs yesterday, but I'm also looking for that short between $119,000 about $121,000. Because this is the key resistance right now. And we have hit our target, guys. The trade has hit the target, so we've hit the target. All right, and now we're waiting to see, are we going to reject from the target? So far, we're getting a little bit of a rejection, but is it going to hold? I don't know. See, we got the bullish signals. I say we got to wait for New York to open. I say we got to wait and see. Sam Bankman-Fried flashing his TTs over here on the chart. We got the good old-fashioned reverse uneven butt cheek mirror mode pattern, regular uneven butt cheeks. Dolores at the diner coming out. Price is coming down to key support. The waitress is coming out, uneven cheeks. She keeps the tip money in that small little butt cheek to push the price straight to the target at the ceiling of the restaurant. You know, everyone has this waitress at their local diner with the Brooklyn accent, the raspy voice. Hey, Jason, how you doing? My name's Dolores. I'll be your waitress today. Yeah, I still smoke inside like it's 1985, but it's all right. You know what I'm saying? She still smokes inside. Dolores. We all love Dolores. All right. Now, let's take a look at the chart because, you know, as we've already noticed, we're coming up to resistance. Why is this resistance? Right? Why? Well, if we pull our volume, that gives us the fair value zone of the Bitcoin price throughout the entirety of this range. You can see quite simply, we came down to the bottom of the range where Jason Casper didn't give a signal, because we don't give signals in Casper Crew. And then we reclaim the POC, we come to the top of the range. What's most probable when you lose at the bottom of the range and come back in is that you come to the top of the range. Not only that, but if we pull our Fibonacci from the high to the low, actually I think it's from this high to the low, yeah, this high, the last swing high to the low, we put on our 786, we put on our golden pocket. You can see that we're coming right into this key area of resistance here, all right, the value area high and all that stuff. Let's just pull this up from our top, because I'd say right now that this is actually going to be our area of resistance that we need to reclaim. The reason why I say that is because look at the price action. Resistance here, and then also resistance here. Now, if we reclaim this box, guys, higher is most probable. But again, we're coming to the Fibonacci 618. All right, what do we know about the Fibonacci 618? Well, she is in fact 6 Juanita, our high school crush, right? We had a big crush on this girl. Really liked her, okay? She thought I was funny. She would laugh at my jokes, and I thought she liked me, all right? Turns out when I went to ask her on a date, she said, Jay, you know, I do like you, but I don't like you like that. I'd like you like a friend. And she gave me that hand, she gave me that face. My hopes and dreams of purchasing Bitcoin, getting rich, living off our crypto gains forever and ever. White picket fence house, little pool, maybe a golden retriever, nice sitcom, you know. White American 1980s family sitcom lifestyle, smashed into smithereens. And you can see we reject right from the 618. Now, here's the thing about 6 Juanita. Why did she really reject me? Because I was a nice guy. I mean, look at that shirt, open a little bit in the chest. You know, 5 o'clock shadow, trying to keep my looks, maxing my hair, wrinkle cream on the face. You know? It's because she wasn't into nice guys. She was into criminals, like this guy down here, Sam Bankman-Fried. Now, if we take a look at Market Cipher B as we came to the 618 Fibonacci, we saw Sam Bankman-Fried hanging upside down, flirting with 6 Juanita. All right? He's giving her the old, hey, girl, look at my uneven upside down man booby. That, you know how guys flirt. You know how bad guys flirt with girls like that? Now, we got to look at this chart, because we have to ask ourselves, as we're preparing to ask out 6 Juanita on a date, all right, we're gathering our courage and our strength, because we know the last time we did, boom, right? What are we going to be looking for? We're going to be looking at Market Cipher B. We want to be looking here because we know that we saw the bullish divergence here, but now we want to see, are we going to start to see the bearish divergence, right? Because that's really that's going to tip us off. That's going to tip us off. You know what I'm saying? Like the time I was trading and driving in my Jeep, all right? My Jeep. It's not a minivan, guys. It's a Jeep. Very important. All right, if you're a guy in your mid-30s with 3 kids like me, if you own a minivan, hair gone. Beer gut, poof, comes out immediately. Testosterone, poof. But if you own a Jeep, all right, totally different. You keep the hair, 6-pack abs, big biceps, baby. All right, very important tip, guys. No minivans. But someone tipped off the cops. They said, look, officer, there's a Jason Casper, a wild Jason Casper on the road trading and driving. All right? So they tipped off the cops. Now, in the same way, this uneven Sam Bankman-Fried man-boob pattern at the golden pocket will tip us off that we're going to get a rejection. So far, we don't see it. And also so far, I just want to take a look at the 8-hour time frame. All right, am I too bullish? Am I too bullish? Where's the stop loss? There is no stop loss. Look at the 6-hour, okay? Look at the money flow. It's getting higher. Yes, we printed a bearish divergence here and we got a daily red dot, but the money flow is getting higher. And objectively speaking, this is a hidden bullish divergence. Bouncing from support. Hidden bullish divergence on the 4-hour. Money flow getting thicker. All right. The most basic of all Market Cipher B strategies is what? You have your bullish divergence at the low. All right. Bullish divergence at the low. We had it right here. Bullish divergence at the low. All right. Trade setup given in advance from that key support in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. Trade setup taken. Profits locked from 105. Man, what an entry, okay? Then, after you have your bullish divergence, we continue to see a trigger wave on the chart. Trigger wave. All right, bottom signal is marked by the bullish divergence. Price is getting lower as the momentum is getting higher. This is your bottom signal on Market Cipher B. Then you look for your next leg up after your first retracement. That comes with the next trigger wave continuing that direction. So we come down here to $105,000. We see that next trigger wave for more upward direction. Okay? And that was the setup that we also gave in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. Man, I mean, I'm telling you, look at this. We're following the trend to the upside, right? Trades given. We're following the trend. We have our signals. Then, what do we see happening right now? Our next continuation pattern. The next continuation pattern after that first divergence and then that next trigger wave is going to be the hidden bullish divergence, which we now have printing right here with our thicker money flow. This right here is a beautiful Market Cipher B, right? I mean, it just looks gorgeous. Everything you would want to see for an uptrend continuing is happening right now on Market Cipher B. And of course, we never know if it's really going to happen. We didn't know for sure if this was going to lead to our next higher high, right? We don't know for sure, but we saw the signal at the level. And that's what's so key, guys. I really want to drive this home, all right? We don't know for certain what's going to happen when it comes to trading, which is why it's so important to plan in advance. You make a plan. You say, if I see the price do such and such, then I will take a trade. And it's not guaranteed, but we know it's probable that, boom, we hit our target, right? Same deal, right? We make a plan. If we see certain things, all right? This was a setup given in the VIP, JasonCasperTrading.com, told everyone exactly when to pull the trigger. Same deal. Yesterday, all right? The long setup from 116. We had our plan, right? We had our plan. If the price does such and such, then we take the trade. And of course, we lock in the profits, baby. We lock in the profits. You know what I'm saying? Hitting our targets. So we don't know for certain if this is going to happen, but one thing we do know for certain is the trade itself. This trade that you see here, my take profit one being hit, we already traded the successful trade, and now we hope, based on the confirmation of the signal, that we get our follow through. Because remember, when we took the trade, there was no confirmed hidden bullish divergence yet. Now there is. Okay, now there is. Which has to make me biased for more upside, even though the daily time frame has confirmed the red dot. Remember, El Punto Rojo has reared his fat ugly head. But El Punto Verde, you can see he's in better shape than El Punto Rojo. The red dot is a fat guy. Now imagine who would win in a chase down. El Punto Verde or El Punto Rojo? Sí, señor, El Punto Verde. Porque he es mucho fasto. Y El Punto Rojo es muy slow. Slow, señor. And, yeah, I'd say that these low, medium time frame signals here make me a little less confident in this red dot. Because look at the 12-hour. Look at the oscillator on the 12-hour. It looks like she wants to give us another push up. Look at the 6-hour. Now I know, okay, wow, it's confirmed already. Hang on, it's already confirmed. Confirmed hidden bull div on the 6. Money flow thick. 4-hour, looking good. 5-hour, looking good. 3-hour, looking good. 1 hour. 1 hour. Getting a money flow cross. All right, now, look at this. A lot of times on the 1 hour, in a strong uptrend, the purple money flow acts as support. All right, a lot of times in the 1 hour, the purple money flow acts as support. In other words, when you see the money flow dip into the purple and then come back up, that was our bottom. We will bottom out. That 0 line is the support. Okay, so we're seeing a lot of signs that point to more upside. In addition to this, when we hit our bottom down here, we saw the RSIs close together, touching each other. When the RSIs are close and touching each other, that means reversal is very probable. All right, that really does mean reversal is very probable. Like look at this. When we saw the RSIs were touching each other at the top, right? Look at that. That was our move to the downside, right? Now we saw them touch here. This is our move to the upside. Now, am I overly bullish? I think I'm being realistic with the chart right here. I really think I'm being realistic with the chart. Could I be wrong? Yeah, and now, so again, here's why I'm saying this box here, based on our value area high, Fibonacci golden pocket, And this last little zone of consolidation, this is our make it or break it. If we come up to this level and we're asking out 6 Juanita on a date and we say 6 Juanita, I was thinking, you know, well, I know we've been talking a lot and stuff, and well, I thought maybe after school we could go to the pizza place, get a slice, you know. And she comes out, Jason, I'm vegan and gluten free, you animal! And she rejects us, right? Because of Sam Bankman-Fried's man boobs, right? That's what we need to be aware of right now. So as New York opens and news comes out in like 15 minutes or whatever, please just be watching this area for upside down Sam Bankman-Fried bearish divergences. Now, right now, we don't have them. Right now, we don't have them. Look at the 24 minutes. It's looking good, okay? But we do start to see money flow coming lower, and we can see the potential for it. So it's one of those things where we need to watch the chart in the moment and make a decision. But the whole context here, I'd say, from this low so far, looks to me more bullish than bearish. All right, looks to me more bullish than bearish. Just throwing it out there. Okay, now if we do reject from here, then what? Let's do a bearish scenario. Why? First of all, why did we reject at $123,000? All right, let's do some hindsight TA. All right, us YouTubers' favorite things. You know, us crypto YouTubers, we love that hindsight TA, man. We can't tell you what's gonna happen tomorrow, but we sure can tell you what happened yesterday. It's one of the secret techniques of us crypto YouTubers. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'll tell you another technique. We're definitely gonna pump for sure, but maybe not. And then whatever happens tomorrow, I can say, hey, look, I told you. I told you. Now look, we take our Fibonacci trend-based extension. Bear market low, bull market high, bear market low. We are rejecting perfectly from the 1.618 Fibonacci extension. All right, to the dang dollar. Not quite to the dang dollar, but this is not an exact Fibonacci pull here because I don't have the magnet tool on, but pretty much to the dang dollar, we're rejecting from that. So what if this is the top, all right? Or what if this is the top for the summer and then we keep ranging and then we see a bullish fall? Then what? Well, again, you got to take it level by level. I say this. Excuse me. Oof, man. Just burped up a whole cup of coffee. As long as we're maintaining above the value area high of the previous range at 109K, this is objectively speaking a very, very bullish trend, okay? But if we start to reject and we make our first lower high, then we understand that we could see a very fast move down to get a back test of our last resistance, okay? Remember, on the daily chart here, there's nothing here. There's no support. There's nothing, which means we could slide right through here. Right, we make our lower high here at around 120-ish, right? We're coming most likely to the $109,000 to $112,000 zone, right? That's what I would expect if we do reject and El Punto Rojo is there and 6 Juanita is there and she gives us the hand, she gives us the face, we reject, Sam Bankman-Fried is there. You know, we see all the criminals together. El Punto Rojo, 6 Juanita, she's not technically a criminal, but I consider her one. Sam Bankman-Fried, upside down, true criminal, you know, in jail. At least El Punto Rojo's still on the run, just like your boy JC. You know, your boy JC still on the run from the cops, trading, driving. Why do they put Trading View in the cars these days? Why do they put Trading View in the cars these days? And Bitcoin's rejecting from resistance. How am I supposed to think about my wife and kids in the back? All right, how am I supposed to care that I'm going 95 and a 55? It's impossible, you know. And then they want to blame me. And they want to blame me. When back in my day, a car had an engine and tires. These days, it has Trading View. It has a TV that comes down right in front of your face. You don't even have to drive. Elon Musk is driving for you. You're trading and driving. The system's rigged to put you in jail, man. All right? Seriously. The ironic thing is the system really is rigged to put you in jail. I mean, the prison system in America is an extremely profitable industry. They'll just lock you up in a cage for anything these days. But if we see all those signs, then yeah, we would expect our lower low probably to come into this box. This is where I would look for my next big bounce. This is actually a long trade setup that I would be very interested in taking. Shooting for our next Fibonacci extension at around $130. 5-to-1 risk reward. Now, of course, if we lose the box, then what are the probabilities? Well, I don't like to talk about this. It makes me nervous. makes me itchy. You know what I'm saying? But if we lose that box, guys, then actually the probabilities are highest that we come back down to 97. We lose 97, probabilities are highest. We come back down to the high 80s. It's really just level to level. That's why it's so important to have a dang trading plan so that you're prepared at what to do with these levels. Which is why you should check out the free trading course on the Jason Casper YouTube channel. Alright, so check out the free course on the Jason Casper YouTube channel. Alright, it's totally free. It'll teach you how to make a plan. It'll teach you how to make a plan like this, you know? This plan that we had in advance in the Casper Crew VIP Discord yesterday. Alright? Gave the plan, took the trade, let everyone know why. Locked in the profits, baby. Alright? By the way, guys, if you want to trade crypto, BLOFIN right now is offering 20% cash back. Alright, also WEEX right now is offering low fees. If you use my link, get low fees on WEEX plus, what do they have? 25% fee discount, $30,000 welcome bonus, 20% cash back. Now, guys, I've been messing around with this new exchange called KCEX. Okay, called KCEX. KCEX, they partnered with me. They have very low fees. This is like MEXC back in the day. 0% limit order, 0.01% taker order. All right. I've been messing around with this exchange. I've actually only taken one trade on it. It was a short from yesterday. You can see I shorted this drop here. Took a tiny profit, stopped the entry, got stopped, right? For a $50 profit. But the reason why I'm messing with this exchange is because the fees are so low, you can market in and market out. I'm thinking about starting to scalp again on the 5-second time frame on an exchange called KCEX. All right, link in the description. Now, here's the thing about KCEX. When there's an exchange called KCEX, you can't be thinking that this thing is like something you should trust a lot of your money on, right? Here's the thing about exchanges, guys. You look at them as tools to use at the time. And right now, this is offering me some low fees, so I think I'm going to start scalping on KCEX. Now, obviously, I can't take it too seriously, called KCEX. All right? It sounds like some kind of like weird South Korean dirty movie. Okay? But right now, they are offering some nice bonuses, all right? Now, I'm just letting you guys know. I'm messing around with this exchange, all right? Link in the description. Oh, and also, look, if you want to trade, you don't have capital, but you want to trade on Bitget, Klein Funding is partnered with Bitget. It's a crypto prop firm. 25% discount on these funded accounts. All right? 25% off, so for like 80 bucks, you can have a $6,000 funded account with 100% profit reward split, 14% drawdown. And if you don't want to pass a challenge, their Instant Pro accounts, 15% discount in the description. All right, so this is actually a good deal. If you know how to trade, you can get 15% off the funded account for $1,500 bucks, 15% off. You get a $50,000 account. You split the profits, 90% for you, 10% for the prop firm. It runs on Bitget. They're partnered with Bitget. This is honestly the reason why I trust this prop firm so much, is because we know Bitget is full of integrity. All right, we have seen Bitget. First of all, they've been around for a long time. They have massive amounts of volume flowing through the exchange. One of the best in the space by far. All right. Yes, they require KYC, but you don't need KYC to trade on Klein Funding, which is cool. But the fact that Bitget has partnered with them, and I know Bitget cares about their integrity because we saw what happened when they were hacked, and they made sure everyone was made right. Right? We saw Binance bailing out Bitget, which also just shows that in the space people know Bitget is full of integrity. So this is a crypto platform that runs on Bitget. All right, discounts in the description and all that. Okay, now back to the Bitcoin. We know we're coming to our area of resistance. We know what happens if we reject. Okay, we know what happens. We're probably going to make a lower low, and we're going to come back to back test, support resistance flip. Let's just call it 112-ish. All right, and we'd see that would actually be, if this is a head and shoulders, like everyone's saying that this is a head and shoulders, all right, then let's take our target, and yeah, we're coming back down right into our zone between 109 and 112,000. Like that's the target of the head and shoulder. If it is a head and shoulder, this is our next target, which means this is our next long trade, where we look for the bounce, where we look for the bullish divergences and all that kind of stuff. All right, now what does this mean for altcoins, right? What does this mean for Ethereum? what does it mean for Ethereum and all that, and Solana and all this other stuff? You know, what does it mean? Shout out to Dano Crypto. He says, how's it going, my man? I don't know if you're talking to me or someone else in the chat, but guys, make sure to subscribe to Dano Crypto. No, there's no KYC on KCEX. All right, there's no KYC on it. So that's another good reason, right? No KYC. It's a new exchange right now. Legit, the reason why the fees are so low is because they want people on the exchange. All right, it's new. They want people on. All right, they do have good liquidity. You can fill big orders on here, but they want people on the exchange. All right, fully integrated on TradingView and all that. So they're in the phase, like all new crypto exchanges right now. They're in that phase, just like Bitget was in back in 2019, 2020, where Bitget used to pay you to fill a limit order. You guys remember that? Bitget literally used to pay you to fill a limit order. So you'd fill a limit order, you'd have realized P&L. Of course, they did away with that now that they've made it, right? But this is a new exchange, so they're offering people incentives to try and build up the volume on the exchange and all that, right? That's why the fees are so low right now. So it's an opportunity. It's not going to be this way forever. It's not, right? Let's be honest. We saw MEXC with the low fees, no KYC, that went away. We saw Bitget with the no KYC and the low fees, that went away. We saw even WEEX with lower fees than they have now, right? It's like, but this right now is the exchange is still in that phase where, you know, if you're looking to get those nice good scalps with the low fees, we got a little window here, all right? And Bitcoin's at all-time highs, all right? So I think I'm gonna be messing around with my 5-second scalping on KCEX, baby. Sounds like I don't know, man. Y'all need to, I don't know, like work on the name a little bit. But hey, who cares about the name? You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's be honest. I did have a huge crush on 6 Juanita. That was a weird name. You know, what does it mean for altcoins? You know, what does that mean for altcoins? Let's take a look at some other altcoins. You know. Yeah, we got PPI incoming. Oh yeah, real quick, let's take a look at PPI. Let's take a look at good old forexfactory.com. All right, because we are about to get some news here. I know you guys can't see it just yet. There's nothing like scalping with 0.01% market order fees, man. You can make some juicy profits. I made $33,000 in a month scalping the 5-second time frame. And I have video evidence of it on my YouTube channel because of MEXC and their 0% limit order, 0.01% market order. You literally market in, limit out. You can make money on like a 0.3, 0.25% move. It's crazy. You know, we're talking small gains that rack up over time. All right, so 2 minutes. PPI, baby. We got the PPI. The PPI. All right. The producer price index, right? We saw the consumer price index. Now we're going to see what the producers have to say. All right. And we're going to be watching this. Then we'll get into some altcoins, man. But this is, here we go. Oh, man. Can you guys believe what we're about to see here? All right, now they're expecting it to be higher than it was. Now remember, we also do have Donald Trump coming out yesterday saying, we're gonna make America the best crypto country in the world. On Crypto Week. We have Crypto Week now. What the heck is the world coming to, bro? We have Crypto Week now. You know, old school Bitcoiners are pissed. You guys remember the old school crypto space back in the day? Everyone was like an anarchist, hated the government. They would be, probably are still, because the space has changed so much. But back in the day, even on YouTube, man, people hated the government. People hated all this. The president's talking about Crypto Week, man. People probably throwing up in their mouth. All right, we got 1 minute and 20 seconds left until we get this news. Now, if it's lower than expected, that's bullish. Our producers are paying less for prices. You know, that's bullish for crypto. It's bearish for the dollar. Okay. So if this is the price of their products. The price of their products, which basically means like how much are they able to spend on stuff and get away with it. All right, here we go, baby. Here we go. We got the news coming out. Okay, wow! Whoa! Oh, wait. Wait a second. Oh, yeah. Would you look at that, guys? Okay. That's actually pretty good, man. That's actually pretty good. It's come down. That's bad for the dollar. That's good for crypto. That's good for crypto. How's it looking on the chart? Let's see what the news has done. Any volatility? How's the volatility looking here on the 6 minute? Not very volatile. Maybe we need to go down to a lower time frame. We'll check out the 5 second. Here we go. Look at this. Wow. Talk about a pump on the 5 second, man. Oh, whoa. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I want to see. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. Beautiful. Oh, it does my heart good. Can you believe it, man? I need to make a new thumbnail because this is shocking. Ah! Oh, no. Purple candles. Take those glasses off, Jason. What are you doing? Whew. Man, talk about volatility. That's why we're here in the first place, isn't it? Volatility, baby. Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. Pump and dump on the 5 second. Let's zoom out and get a little clarity. Whew. All right, back on the 12 minute. Things looking pretty boring here. Whew, sometimes that 5 second. Guys, look, I'm a little tidbit. All right, you want to increase your metabolism. All you got to do is look at the 5 second. It will cause your heart rate to go up, which burns more calories, which case will cause you to stay lean, even though you spend your whole day sitting there with your vape, your coffee, and your pizza in your chair. All right, now, looks like we are getting a bit of a pullback. Oh no, this is dangerous and scary. Now I went from pure euphoria to pure fear. Let's remove this and let's focus. We need to focus right now, and then we will look at some altcoins. Let's focus right now. Let's quickly focus. Let's go ahead and do some analysis, guys. We need to do some analysis. Whew. Jason, relax and do your analysis. Okay. I'll tell you what. Here's what we need to hold. All right, let's look at the volume. Let's look at this. Come on. Okay, yeah, for sure. So we need to hold the POC of the range, confluence with the VWAP of the value area high. All right, we need to hold this. If we don't hold that, we're gonna get a move back down. Oh, down. Anything but down. Crap. Okay, so we gotta hold our box. This is so key right now locally. This is the local key. The local key. All right, we call it the LK for short. Let's pull some fibs. All right, let's pull some fibs here. From the low to the high. Yeah, we got to hold this, otherwise we're coming back down to the value area low of the range again. That's just not a good look for Bitcoin. That's just not a good look. We could bounce, but it's not as probable, but I do have to say this, you know, now that I've totally switched my bias from being an extreme bull to an extreme bear, and I think Bitcoin's going back down to $3, we do have a lot of liquidity to be grabbed here. So if we do lose VWAP and come down to this area, I still think actually a bounce could happen from here. It's just, it is support, and we would basically wreck pretty much everything from Asia and London, stop out Asia and London, and then come back down to Asia's low. Yeah. Come back, take Asia's low, and then get a little bit of a bounce. That is possible. We'll have to wait and see. But again, we don't even have to worry about that until we come down to our VWAP area. Okay? Let's take a look at altcoins. Let's take a look at ETH here. ETH, guys, as we all know, is pumping like a wild lady in distress with a laundry basket on her head, looking like Janet Yellen. I do believe still we're going to see ETH go to 4,000 based on the beautifulness of this bounce from bear market support and the flip of 2,700 into support. And then I do still believe we're going to shoot for an $8,500 ETH. Now, I know I saw people laughing in the comment section yesterday. They said, Jason, what a fool. How could ETH possibly go to $8,500? Well, guys, I mean, Is that so crazy to think that ETH can pump 70% higher than the previous all-time high during a bull market? The number 2 market cap crypto? I don't think that's crazy at all. You know, right now we can see our next resistance is going to be the POC at about 3,300. We reclaimed 3,300. I say we're going for a new all-time high, 5,500 Fibonacci 2-to-1 extension, and then the 8.5 1.618 Fibonacci extension up to the 2-to-1 at $10,000. I think these are realistic targets for ETH. All right. Now we look at the weekly time frame. What do we see here? You know, we're looking at the bullishness for Bitcoin, but look at ETH right now. We've just gotten a weekly money flow cross, and I know it's dipping back down to the red a little bit, but I don't really care because it's still so close to that zero line. Sometimes we see these crosses take some time, right? But in general, when we're seeing that cross, super bullish. Our 2-day, look at the money flow on the 2-day. Oh man, look at that money flow on the 2-day. It looks like we are gearing up for another big pump. Look at the 12-hour money flow. It's looking good. Look at the 6-hour. Oh my goodness. Look at that money flow, man. That is thick. The money flow is getting thick. And yeah, we're forming bearish divergence here, but when you form bearish divergence with thick money flow and bullish weekly, it really just means we're going to consolidate and then pump. That's what I'm feeling. Now look, I might be too bullish, and for those who are new to the channel, I know it doesn't seem like it, but I'm usually extremely balanced. It's very rare that I'm so biased. It's rare, man. I am mostly neutral. Most of the time, I am neutral. There are very few times in my channel history where I've come out with a clear, I expect this bias, because I try to remain objective. But right now, we're seeing objectively things looking pretty dang bullish. All right. Solana continuing to pump here. I know people are upset that we're not seeing these altcoin gains. You have to think to yourself right now on Solana, assuming a $460 SOL, all right, assuming a breakout, and we pump up only, again, 60% higher than our previous all-time high. Still, right now, there's 4 times more upside than downside. All right, there's 4 times more upside than downside, and we're printing and confirming bullish trigger waves on the weekly after confirming hidden bullish divergence. So we have a bullish divergence on the weekly. Now we have a bullish trigger wave. All right, signs point to the fact that this was indeed a nice bottom. This is our first high. This is our higher low. And we're getting ready for our next leg to the upside here. All right. Now this is high time frame analysis. Doesn't mean we can't zig and zag on the lower time frames, guys. But look at this. Even on the daily, money flow is about to cross from the purple into the blue. All right. Money flow is about to cross from the purple into the blue, even on the daily. That's wild, man. That's bullish. I'm sorry. That's bullish. Look at the 4-hour. Money flow continuing to get thicker here. Also on our 4-hour time frame, we are. That's not. Never mind. I thought we had a hidden bullish div there, but we don't. It's not a hidden bullish div, but it is a really nice. Actually, this is a really nice trigger wave here. I think we're seeing the same pattern here for Bitcoin. Look at this. This is a bullish divergence on our 4-hour. Money flow getting higher, momentum getting higher. Then we see right here a trigger wave, which is a hidden bullish divergence. Price making a higher low, momentum making a lower low. Now we have a continuation trigger pattern. We're seeing that overall direction. Remember, market Cipher B, you're not just looking for dots, you're not just looking for waves, you're looking for the overall structure of this thing, and you want the structure of this thing to align with your bias. Right now, the structure of SOL, the structure of the market Cipher B on SOL is aligning with my bullish bias. All right, I'm seeing that a bottom is in. I'm seeing continuation patterns along the way up. Money flow continues to get thicker. All right, and I don't think this is an unrealistic target for Solana. I think Solana is a good asset. ETH and SOL, and I got it from our super chat. We got to take a look at AVAX. Shout out to our super chat who super chatted very early. AVAX. Hang on. All right, AVAX. Look at this. We're starting to get a pump. And I've been saying it for a while now. AVAX, in my opinion, which I believe is a strong asset, I do hold quite a bit. I hold quite a bit. Let's just look objectively here. AVAX is at support. Okay? No one would argue that AVAX is at support. Even if AVAX comes down to the low where it first listed on Binance at $1. All right, let's say AVAX comes down to $1. There's still 7.7 times more upside than downside here. So if AVAX literally goes to 0, there's still more upside potential here. All right, 92% dump. That's basically going to 0. 700% pump. If we just put our stop loss under our most recent low, we have a 22% more upside than downside. 22 times, I mean, 22 times. Not 22%, 22 times. If we see AVAX hitting an all-time high, let's say it goes to $200. Say that's a conservative target. That's 31 times more upside than downside. You risk 1 to make 31. You risk 1,000 to make 30K. Is that a bad investment? These are the kind of charts, in my opinion, if you believe in the asset, and it's a top 20, you know, this is not like Bitcoin or anything weird like that. We're at support. At the very worst, we just come to the top of the range, still 7 times more upside than downside. Right? Like, let's say AVAX is done forever. All right? We're probably going to make another coming up to this range here. And let's even be even more conservative with it, okay? We're coming up to the trend line. That's still 5 times more reward than risk. Right? If we're just going to bop in between these boxes and form this descending triangle here. But a lot of times we do see these things even break out. Right? Maybe we form a bump and run pattern here. But assuming the worst, there's more upside than downside for AVAX. Right? Now when we look at our 12-day market Cipher B, what do we see? Money flow crossing. Trigger waves forming. Bullish divergences at the lows. This is more than the weekly. This is the 12 days, like basically half a month. I like the 12-day. We see bullish divergence, bottom signal, change of market structure, higher low trigger wave, money flow cross, continued upward momentum here. To me, this looks good. And if the bull market continues, which I believe it will, this is an asset I want to hold, man. I'm just being honest. Look, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And if you know something about AVAX that I don't fundamentally, then don't buy it. And I'm not telling anyone what to do. Again, I don't tell people what to do. I'm just telling people I hold AVAX. I'm expecting higher. I don't tell people what to do. I just tell people what I'm doing. All right? In the Casper Crew VIP Discord, I don't tell people what to do. I just tell people what I'm doing. I took a long just now. All right? I'm long right now. Not you. All right? I took an aggressive long. I'm taking it. This ain't for you, baby. All right? This ain't for you. All right? This is for me. This ain't for you, this is for me. But I like AVAX. I think it looks like a good chart, man. I think AVAX looks like a good chart. We got some more super chats in the house. Shout out to Singularity. Can you look at SPX, the meme coin? Is that SPX 9000 or something? SPX 69. This is it, right? Let's go to the weekly. Oh wow. Okay, so it's breaking out. It's breaking out of the bull flag here. We never got our back test, so we were looking for a potential back test here. Saying it would be really nice. It would be really nice if we got our move down. We didn't get our move down, all right? But we are breaking out here. So right now, I'd say this, technically speaking, could be swing trade. It's a 25%. I like, this is like kind of swing trade-ish, 25% stop loss, so it can't be on leverage. It's only a 3-to-1 risk reward right now. Not the best. If we get a back test of this trend line here, like this, that would give us, an objectively speaking, a better risk-reward ratio, making it now a 5-to-1, give or take. All right, but overall, it looks good, and if you're already holding it, it looks great. But cup and handle, golden pocket retest, breakout of the trend line, things are looking really bullish on SPX 6900. But I don't see a juicy entry here right now. The only entry I see right now is going to give us a 3-to-1 risk-reward, which, to be honest, although the potential is for a 76% pump, and we could see it go much higher, we do need to wait for a good setup, unless you're the kind of person that just likes to buy stuff that looks bullish and you don't really use stop losses, and that's fine if that's your thing, all right? Major shout out to Scottish Crypto, Core, CPI 0%, super bullish, giving it to you straight, not gay. Cheers for all your help the past 4 years, my man. Shout out to Scottish Crypto, giving it to us straight, not gay. Shout out to Acto4. Jason, can you chart TARS AI? Yeah, we can chart TARS AI. All right, so we were looking at this the other day, and we were saying that I guess this is an idea here. I don't know why we were saying that. Maybe based on the bull div, maybe based on the fact that we came to support and we made higher high, higher low, and we're bouncing from the Fibonacci golden pocket. Like, we don't have a lot of data here, but one thing I can say is this. All right. I would say that it looks actually pretty nice in the sense that we had a really nice dip. We took out all the liquidity. We've come in, we've made a local higher high, and we're bouncing from key Fibonacci support. If we're shooting for the all-time high, it's a 6-to-1 risk reward. If we're shooting for a new all-time high, it could be like a 10-to-1 risk reward. It doesn't look the most bullish. Okay, and I don't know anything about TARS AI protocol, but I would say it looks primed for a short squeeze. It looks primed to wreck basically all this disgusting looking downtrend, which isn't even a downtrend, it's just a mess. So we come up and make a higher high, we could easily squeeze back up. And the weekly's about to print a trigger wave, so it's a more speculative play, I'd say. But I'd say the risk reward is there, all right? It's a 6-to-1 risk reward from where we're at right now to hit the all-time high, which would be the target of the short squeeze. And then there, you're up, let's say you're risking 1 to make 6, right? So you risk $1 to make $6, take out $3 up here, you just tripled your investment, and you still have the rest in to let it ride, right? You just tripled your investment. Now you've turned $1 into $3, and now you got $4 left on the trade to let it keep riding, right? Then we come up, let's say we do come up to like $1. Now you've turned your $1 into $12. You know, turned your 1,000 into 12,000, and that's with taking out half the trade at the first TP. So I think it's not a bad. And I don't know anything about it. All right, I'm literally just purely technical analyzing this chart here and thinking about it as an investment perspective. If you know, for example, that this is like a rug pull fake coin and the team is just Sam Bankman-Fried running it from prison and Kamala Harris is sitting there cackling the whole time, right? Then don't buy it. Got to give a major shout out to Tyler. Can we look at DOT? Yeah, we'll look at DOT. Now, here's the thing about DOT. I actually do hold a lot of DOT, but according to my fundamental analysis experts that I trust, DOT can never hit its all-time high again because of the fact that they are printing too much of the coin. But here's the deal with DOT, okay? I hold a lot of DOT, and I don't know the fundamentals because I don't pay attention to that stuff. I'm a chart-only guy. Make sure to smash the likes, guys. You know, if we get 1,000 likes in the first half hour, we'll give away $1,000. Smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. All right. Don't listen to me. Listen to Trump.
Make sure to like and subscribe to Jason Casper. He's the best YouTube trader in the world. He's getting huge. Shout out to the Casper crew.
So yeah, basically, look at the risk to reward here. 45 to 1. You risk 1,000 to make 45,000. Right? You risk 10 grand to make 450K. You risk $1 to make 45 bucks. To me, we're at support. You couldn't be more at the bottom than you are right now. We have multiple drive of bullish divergence on the weekly time frame. Multiple drive. It's pretty wild, actually. Multiple drive of bullish divergence. Do we see any sign of strength based on the market structure? No. We don't. But it can't get any lower than this. All right, it can't get any lower than this. These are summer 2020 levels, prices. All right, it can't get any lower than this. So the way I look at it is, it's pretty much a very low risk asset right now. I mean, it's not like we're buying it up here with the downside potential of this. We're literally buying it at the bottom. Like, unless the project completely dies, and I don't think it is, because I have been on some Reddit forums, some Polkadot Reddit forums, and the project itself seems to still be alive and well. All right. We're buying it at the bottom, which means even if it can only do this, it's still 8 times more reward than risk. Even if it can never come back above 13 bucks, it's still 8-9 times more upside potential than downside potential. If we come up to around the all-time highs, it's 45% more upside than downside. We got bullish divergences up the wazoo, coming out the dang wazoo. All right. Shout out to Vic M and Crypto Days. Shout out to Crypto Days for the super chat. God bless you, my man. God bless you. Shout out to Vic M, TI, and Turbo. Let's check out Turbo. All right, so we've got ourselves a weekly green dot just confirmed. Yellow oscillator looks good. Let's go to the daily. Bullish divergence on the daily. Money flow about to cross, and we are currently coming up to the most important support resistance flip in the world, which is 65.92 non-Satoshi dollar Satoshis, whatever that is, fractions of a cent. All right, and we're getting a bit of a rejection from here. This looks beautiful. This looks absolutely gorgeous. We have bullish divergence at the low, change in market structure, hidden bullish divergence, confluence with a regular bullish divergence, and now we're taking that high again. This looks like a very bullish chart. Now we have our upper range right here. It's our upper sideways range. And we have our lower range down here. These are our 2 sideways ranges to trade. Cool. So right now, I would say this. Wow. So, okay, if we're looking for exact entries, I'd say a pullback a little bit more. No, we actually already got that pullback. Wow. We did bounce from the POC. We already got that pullback. So, since we already got the pullback yesterday, if we don't make lower lows and we hold above that POC, this is, now remember, we're longing into resistance right now, but because the chart looks so bullish, this would be an aggressive entry, okay? It's an aggressive entry, but the reason why we're taking the aggressive entry is because we formed a nice bottom, we changed market structure, we came down and formed a nice higher low with bullish divergences hidden and regular, and now we're coming up and holding the POC, right? We're actually flipping this high volume node into support. We did that yesterday. So the basis for a trade here, the reason why we're seemingly longing resistance is because locally we're bouncing from support, right? We're flipping the POC from resistance into support. We got a nice breakout and we got a retest. And so this gives us a clear invalidation, meaning if we come lower than yesterday's low, you know, as far as like leverage trading goes or whatever, we're out, right? But then we know that if we flip our value area low, this area that's currently resistance, once we flip this into support, that's going to be a big move to the upside. In fact, the next target would be right here. Okay? So this is, objectively speaking, a beautiful risk to reward ratio, 6 times more reward than risk for our TP1. All right? Now, let's say the trade gets stopped out and validated. By the way, this is not a signal and this is not financial advice. If that gets stopped out, then what would I look for? Personally, guys, if that happens, I would look for a long right down here. I would look for a long right down here. I'll tell you why. Because if we're not going to hold that POC, there's no support on this whole way down. We have this whole curve of liquidity. All right? We've got this whole curve of liquidity from here all the way up. Just pure stop losses and no support, which means we could get a very, very fast, powerful long squeeze to the downside, grab everybody's stop loss, and bounce from the support resistance flip right here. Right? Man, talk about a diabolical market maker move. But, oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Look, right into the fib zone as well. That would be the next place I would look. But right now, there is a valid reason for an entry here. And overall, this chart does look bullish to me, right? Overall, it looks bullish, which means I am looking, well, I'm not personally looking to buy this. I don't even care about Turbo, all right? Don't own any, not gonna own any. But if I was into it, I would be watching this POC to hold today, and if not, I'd be looking for a swing failure pattern of 2904, right? Right back down to the range low, wipe out everybody on this last big pump, and then look to pump it up, right? And in hindsight, what would that look like? It would look like this, which we could say is just trading the channel, right? Nothing too crazy. It's not too crazy to just trade the channel and then eventually get our breakout, right? So, major shout out to Constantine Needace. I don't know. I can't read all Greek capital letters. T.I. on Brett sounds undervalued right now. T.I. on Brett, huh? A little T.I. on Brett, huh? Alright. Let's do some Brett. Brett. Loaded up, about to get in the check. What's the price? About to see next. Up on the treadmill with the flex. Jake Casper up in the house. We get overtraded here with the Bitcoin down setups. Always with an advance in the food. Bitcoin man, what's she gonna do? Yeah, then we come back to the chart. Got the blue double candles like a nice work of art. Are we about to pump? Maybe we about to dump. Let me call up the president, Donald Trump. Ayo, God, what the price about to do? Jay, I'm about to buy a shoe, cause I know you're on the treadmill, that's what you do. Hopefully we're going up, cause that's how you rule. Yeah, cause we rule the world. The Bitcoin price, man, give it a swirl. Are you gonna long, are you gonna short? No, take it out, like we're shooting squirrels. For the fur, for the tail, cause we do it like the pair plays. Don't you know Jay Casper's such a good whale? Every single day coming to the charts. Every single day, you know I got a fart, cause I got the gas coming out from the past. Don't you know it's traveling through the ass? On the backside, looking for the flip side. Bitcoin price, hit the long button, then we let it ride. Take a profit, can you spot it? The next golden pocket, then we rock it. Don't stop it, can you spot it? Hopefully we don't drop it. Don't you know that the price is gonna spot it to the top? Alright, we're gonna take a look at Brett. So, what can I even say about Brett? We have support resistance flip. Whoops. Wrong button. There we go. Support resistance flip. Higher high, higher low. We got a trend line. Do we see any kind of bullish divergences? We see slight, yeah, we see weekly bull divs on this low. Higher high, higher low trigger wave. I'll bet you that higher low in between the fib pocket, I mean the altcoin pocket, which is the 786 to 886. All right, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, so look, Brett right now, and again, this is an aggressive entry, but I would say this, we are seeing bullish bottom signals here, and if we hold this higher low, the probabilities are that we come back up into the range. So 5-to-1 risk reward, you know. This is what we'd really be looking at here. We're looking at this as a bullish deviation below the lows. Take out the lows. Let's go to the 2-day. Look at this. I say this looks really good. Bullish divergence. Higher high. Higher low. Trigger wave money flow. And again, the fact that we closed some weekly candles above this level, in my opinion, it means, okay, we look to buy the dip. This, I would say, is probably the dip. Now, again, this is assuming that Bitcoin's not going to dump all the way back down to the high 80s. Okay, if Bitcoin starts to dump, it invalidates all these potential altcoin pumps. But if Bitcoin can hold 109 to 112 for the summer, I believe we will see a fall altcoin rip that will probably begin in about a month or so. All right, so I think we still got time before the altcoin rip. Typically, it does happen in Augusto, right? Those big rips, you know? Those big old rips. H-bar is about to break out. Oh, music was too loud? Dang, I'm not a DJ, sorry. When is voting getting done for crypto bill? I don't know. I don't know. You can't ask me. You can't ask me. I don't know a dang thing, guys. All I do know is that Bitcoin is doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and New York's gonna open soon, and actually it's 9 o'clock already. Wow, I gotta go, guys. VIP live stream in the Casper crew. We're going to be giving more setups. So check it out. God bless you guys in Jesus' name. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell. See you next time. Peace.